Welcome. We'll call the meeting of the Board of Selectmen on November 25th, 2025 to order at 6:33. I'd like to welcome our newest select person, Cynthia Torres, joining us this evening for the first time, and of course, Dwayne Gates. So, the agenda tonight, we have approval of just one set of minutes. Kind of lost track of what we had approved, so I believe we still have to approve a few other sets, so we'll do that the next meeting.
Yeah,
Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
that was for the 14th.
The 14th.
Well, I did the 28th, October 28th.
I have the 14th, the one you sent out?
Oh, I thought I sent both of them.
Oh, I didn't see the other one.
I didn't see the other one.
So you want just to...
Yeah, let's
four-
take,
the
we'll
14th.
approve the 14th.
Okay,
I'll
so
make a
let's
motion to
make a
approve.
motion to
Approve
change the agenda to reflect that we're going to approve those minutes.
the 14th.
Yeah. Okay. So October 14th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 14th, 2025.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? I know you weren't present, so that's fine.
No, I did read them, though. Thank you.
And you're good?
Yep.
Okay. So then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we'll table
28th.
The 28th. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought I had touched them both.
Yeah, no, maybe.
Okay. Okay. All right, we have 3 residents joining us online, and we have some in the audience. Our first audience, the citizen section is now. Would anyone like to address the board? No? Okay.
Yes, I would.
Oh, okay. We have someone online. Hi, good evening.
Hi, this is Bobby Gander, 137 Kirtland Street.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring up an issue that I've been having with FOIA requests. I submitted an FOIA request over 3 months ago. I received some of the documentation that I requested. I have not received all of the documentation I requested. I've reached out several times. Carol, you were included on the emails. Amy was included on the emails, and Zoe was included on the emails. And I am not getting responses back. And I just would like the Board of Selectmen to follow up on that, to find out what the delay is, and to get those documents to me. The state law requires those things to be provided in a timely manner, and I feel that 3 months is more than sufficient to get those things. And the fact that neither you, nor Amy, nor Zoe are responding to my emails, I believe is a problem. So just wanted to follow up on that. One of the things that I had requested were some files that Kathy Jefferson kept off-site. Zoe indicated that she doesn't know of anything that was kept off-site, but we hired an attorney and a private investigator 6 or 7 years ago, and Kathy Jefferson admitted that she kept the Lace Factory files off-site. So she is probably the one that we need to reach out to find out why those were off-site. But she is the one that told our private investigator that those files are held off-site. I don't think that that's where those files are supposed to be held. In addition, Brett has also submitted a FOIA request. He asked me to reach out as well. His request was also made 3 months ago. He has not received any response from, well, he has received a response, but he has not received any of his files at all. And on October 10th, he did receive some files, but the files that he received were the files that I requested, not the files that he requested. So there's an ongoing problem with FOIA requests, and I just would like you to follow up on that. So we don't have to take further action with the FOIA Commission in the state of Connecticut.
Okay. And these FOIs are going to the zoning department, correct?
They were sent to Amy, and Amy forwarded them on to the COE. So I know that Amy is the one who is responsible for keeping all the records. And so that's why we submitted to her. And it seems that most of them are zoning enforcement records. And so that's why I believe she sent them to zoning.
Right. Well, that's our policy. It's now going to be all FOIs go to the town clerk first, and then she will send them out to the appropriate departments.
Well,
So,
that's where we sent them.
Yep, so, okay, I will follow up on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay, anyone else?
Jonathan Lambert, 62 Oakridge Drive. Just chatting with some of my neighbors with their recent assessments that have gone on. I know that's not technically your department or decisions on that, but there's a lot of talk about how high those assessments are. And our budget really hasn't grown by double, but we're seeing our assessments grow by double. Is there any intent to lower our mill rates with these high assessments, or is this just, the assessment company takes them and that's what it is?
Well, no, so we do have it on the agenda. We were going to kind of just talk about that a little
Cool.
bit. We are getting a lot of residents calling, if it is a concern. I mean, mine have gone up to 140,000, so I can relate, yeah.
I knew it was on the agenda, but this
Yeah.
is my only chance to say something, so I wanted to say something.
Okay, so do you mind if we kind of wait till that comes
No,
up?
absolutely, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Okay, we've got reappointments coming up, and we have Economic Development Commission, 2 people up for reappointment, and Park and Rec, we have 3 people up. We can take them individually or all together with a motion, however you guys want to handle that.
We can do them all together.
Altogether?
Okay.
Save some time.
So
They're all
someone-
reappointments, so.
Yes, someone want to make a,
I'll make a motion to reappoint Deep River Economics Development Commission, Jeremy D. Chase, term to expire 12/1/2028. Jennifer Gray Roberts, term to expire 12/1/2028. B, Park and Recreation, Kayla A. Howard, term to expire 12/1/2028. Christopher Mara, term to expire 12/1/2028. And Suzanne Such, term to expire 12/1/2028.
I'll second
Okay,
that.
second?
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that did pass. All right, the next thing on the agenda is the revaluation discussion. So it has been completed by Vision Appraisal, Government Solutions, and letters did go out, and we have heard from quite a few residents. So something that the assessor had written for one of the residents that I just wanted to read. Let's see. So there is a formal process in place for taxpayers to present their specific property information and any factors you believe may affect the value. So as noted in the letter, Vision Government Solutions is conducting informal hearings for exactly this purpose. So she kind of urges people that if you do feel like you have something that's very off with your assessment, to please make an appointment to have your formal hearing. This is your chance to sort of work through the numbers with the people that did the assessments. The previous assessments were based on market conditions from 5 years ago. Over that period, Deep River has experienced significant increases in sale prices, and those market changes are reflected in the new values. So the points she raised, she raised points about the age of her house, the heating type and condition. Those are all appropriate things to bring forward during your informal hearing if you want to come in for that appointment. But I know Dwayne and I were talking yesterday, I just returned from vacation, so we were kind of getting me caught up. But one of the things the assessor told me is our residential properties are up by some 60%. 70% increase in condo values or assessments, and motor vehicles are down, commercial properties are down 20%. So historically, when the revaluation comes in, the mill rate has been decreased. So we can't guarantee that, but we're assuming, based on historic trends, that that would be what would happen. So unfortunately, the mill rate won't be set until maybe the spring when, or after the grand list is completed. But What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well,
'Cause
I hate to have my back, and then I'll look back to the camera, so. To answer your question, Jonathan, historically, like Carol said, when the assessments come in, the mill rate does get shifted down. But that won't take place, like I said, until we start our budget workshop, and we have a lot of our Board of Finance people here, and we start working on the budget, and the Board of Finance sets the mill rate, we don't. And so again, I can't see, I'm going out on the limb, I can't see the mill rate not dropping with a significant increases with the values of these houses.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we
I
can't
work very
guarantee
hard
that.
also,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so I hear you, and we've heard my phone rang all weekend. But again, I just try to tell the people it's a process. And it's not, you know, we all, it's a process. And it was very shocking when people saw, you know, $100,000, $150,000 increase on a moderate sized house.
Yeah.
So,
But
we're taking it serious.
Yeah, but I do urge people to take advantage of this informal process then, because now is your time to come in, have the appointment, talk about your house, your numbers, if something has changed that you want to question, this is the time to do it, because once we move into the budget process and everything gets locked in, then you miss that opportunity. Then it is what it is, so,
Thank you.
yeah.
And if you were, I don't know if you were
No,
going to say.
I look at that, I mean, and maybe it's GIS that's done it. I went through this process 5 years ago with a vacant piece of property. And there were outbuildings and permanent docks and things like that on it. And they weren't there, they came out and they saw it. And this particular piece of property has doubled in the sense of value. And I'm looking at it at GIS and those items are back on it again. So leads me to question the validity of GIS and the work that they're doing, or vision and the
Yeah.
work that they're doing, because I went through it within their own system and had these items removed, and it did reduce it, and then 5 years later, they're back on there again, and now I have to go do it again.
I understand.
I can honestly
Yeah.
say that the picture that's online of my house is an old picture, because I put a new driveway in 3 years ago, and that's my old cracked asphalt driveway. So I know what you're saying.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, yep.
If I may, this process, how do people get access to it?
You can just email the assessor,
Okay,
email to Robin or Donna in the assessor's office, and then they will set up the appointment, and they're handling, I think they're going to take all the names for people that want to have the appointments, and then
okay.
they'll get
So
scheduled.
it's equitable for
And there's already some hearing dates kind of set aside downstairs on the conference door, so there are certain dates set up, so I think if you call, you'll probably be offered one of those dates, and then you'll get a slot.
Great,
Yep.
great. So
On
maybe
on
it
the
will be
letter
on
that they
the-
sent out, there's a website. You can
Good,
go right on the
okay.
website and click on, you know, your road,
Yeah,
click on your house number, and it'll bring up all your information on your house.
great.
You know, any extras like Jonathan was talking about, sheds and everything else, so.
Thank you.
Right, or if something's been removed and it's not showing, that's the
Yep.
perfect opportunity to come in and say, that was removed, so.
It's shocking.
It is shocking. And I was just as shocked as everyone when I opened mine.
Welcome back.
140,000. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Next thing, what did I do with my agenda?
Sustainable.
Oh, yeah, I had put the Sustainable has just started their Heat Smart program. I think you all, probably all the residents of Deep River received the letter that the Board of Selectmen had approved this program back in, maybe in the spring, was it, or late summer or
No
something?
spring, or late spring.
Late spring. The letter finally made it to people's homes, but it's a great program, and I thought somebody from Sustainable would be here tonight to talk a little more about it. They had an informational session last week. I think you were able to
Yes.
attend. Do you want to add anything since Sarah's
No, there
not here
was a
from
good turnout.
Sustainable?
There's probably 20 people that came. They made a presentation of, you know, how the whole process works. And I urge people to look into it if they want to try to save some money on their heating or windows or whatever else. They'll come in and do a free inspection, and then they'll tell you what's wrong with your house.
Yeah, they'll do an assessment of your house and, yeah, show you where
And
you
if,
have
you
some
know, when we go
energy
back to the
efficiency.
meeting when we approved it back in the spring, and I was very concerned about, you know, when, especially the elderly people, you know, I didn't want them to be harassed. And they reiterated that last Wednesday night that, you know, you can have the assessment, and I just didn't want the people to keep calling and saying, okay, Mrs. Torres, Ms. Torres, you know, I didn't want that, and they assured it, so I felt good about it.
Yeah,
Because the
that
elderly
was a
are
good
taken
question.
care of. You know.
You're saying I'm elderly? Just say.
No, I'm just, you know,
He was looking right at you. But
Barb's
yes, so I
already.
urge you, if you do want to have any more information about that, to please reach out to the Sustainable Committee on the town website. Sustainable has a link there where you can email them directly, or call my office, and I'll, get you in touch with Sarah or somebody from Sustainable, so. Okay, refund of building permit fees. So basically, there was a solar application put in for a house on Belmont. For whatever reason, the work never went forward, so they requested a permit fee reimbursement. The building department they have their own process, and so they did approve, they would honor a 50% permit fee reimbursement based on the date of the application and that sort of thing. So the building inspector is asking for approval for $213 to be refunded to this resident on Belmont. And so we need to approve it, and then we would need to present it to the Board of Finance for approval.
I'll make a motion to refund $213 for the building permit, with the recommendation from the building official. That's 50% of the original fee.
Yep.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Is that typical, it's 50%?
Well, he does, so they have their policy where it depends if it's 30 days out or, farther out, they get 100%, and if it's, as it gets closer to, the construction date. So this one, he'd honor the 50% because of the date.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it
A
says
month or two ago,
basically-
we gave back 100%, and it was a
I
large.
saw that.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
notes,
so-
yeah.
So in this one, it says refund requests which are received 30 days or later after date of original application and such permit has been issued will not be honored. So basically, if everything's moved forward and the permit's been
Yeah.
issued, then they get less money back or no money back, that sort of thing. So it's all spelled out on the website and his policy, so. Okay, so all those in favor of the refund?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Just wanted to give an update of the Region 4 project, that security project in the back of John Winthrop. I talked to the building official yesterday. The elevator did come in. They're starting to install. He says they're about 4 to 5 weeks away from even getting their CO, because then they have to do the masonry work that goes around the door and tucks back into the building. So just thought I'd let people know. I know John Winthrop parents are still been impacted because you can't use that back circle there, so you have to go up and around. But so perhaps that'll be a New Year's gift for everyone to open that up. But anything else with the
We're
mold
still in
or
the closeout
anything?
stages of the mold, so hopefully we can get it done by the end of the year.
Nice. That's nice. Okay, our second audience of citizens has come up. We have another person joining us. If I know you're on the Board of Finance, but you're an audience of citizen for us. Would anyone like to address the board this time? No? Okay. So selectmen update. A couple of things I wanted to mention. So next year we have to file our meeting minutes, our meeting dates rather. We had talked about moving our meetings to 6 p.m. So Board of Finance, who follows us, can meet at 7. Is that a problem for anyone if we move them up a half hour?
Not at all.
I'm good.
No, okay. So starting in
January.
January, yep. Oh, I have somebody online, that's why. Oh. The person that just joined, do you want to address the board? You just missed our last audience of citizen. No, okay. So we have 4 online now. Okay. Yeah, so we'll move it, starting next year, we'll have 6 o'clock meetings then for Board of Selectmen. And then we can let the Board of Finance know if they want to move theirs to 7, firm. Okay, the town holiday tree, we had 2 donations this year. We have not decided which, but we appreciate both stepping forward. The tree will be installed. Howard Tree has volunteered to do that again for us. They actually, he volunteers to go to each of these residents, or whatever resident we send them to take down the tree. They bring it, they install it here at Town Hall. That'll be done on Wednesday, the 3rd of December, just in time for the Park and Rec lighted vehicle parade and tree lighting ceremony, holiday stroll, which is on Saturday, the 6th. Deep River Historical Society has their Festival of Trees, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And those were kind of the upcoming events. I know there's a lot of church fairs and that sort of stuff going around, so please support local organizations and, committees and groups that are putting on all these holiday fairs and things. Great fundraisers usually for those groups. I wanted to give a town hall update. So the assessors are back in their office, yay. The large conference room is still too full to be open to the public for public meetings at this time. The sides, if you can walk through, because the town hall has been unlocked, you can walk through and go to all the offices, but that main conference room still has boxes along the edges, so once we get a little more cleared out, we can start having public meetings there again, as that would allow public to sit down while they're coming to the meetings. There's still no heat on the south side of the building, which includes my office, my assistant, and the assessor's office, so hopefully we get that soon, because I'm freezing. That's why I'm drinking tea, because I'm getting cold and sick or something. Town Hall is going to be closing early tomorrow at 12:30 for the holiday, allow people to travel safely, and then we are closed Friday, which is a kind of a union negotiated holiday. Transfer station, however, will be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so no change in those hours. Did we have anything else we wanted to mention? Cindy, do you have anything?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I'm sure I'll think of something. If anyone noticed yesterday, we were having the drain line cleared out down Main Street, trying to figure out our drainage issue over at the school. We've been having some flooding in the kitchen at the school. The school staff has been amazing, putting up a board and kind of keeping the water from getting into the kitchen, but it was discovered a long time ago that the water got in the kitchen, which is why they came up with this great thing. But it's kind of a pain for them to do every time there's going to be a rain in the forecast. So John Ely really helped us out to, get the company out and flush that drain line. So you were telling me there's some ceramic and brick and rock got pulled out of there. So hopefully that's going to be enough to rid that obstruction and then keep the water flowing in the right direction. So keep it away from the school. Just in case any public saw that going on yesterday. That was what was happening. Anything else? No? Okay. Welcome. We have a new recording secretary, Cassidy. Yeah, right, Cassidy. And so thank you, and she will stay on to do the Board of Finance next. Woo!
Jackie's happy.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn at 6:56.
Motion to adjourn. Go ahead.
Motion
Cynthia
to
makes it.
adjourn. Thank you.
Okay.
We can fight over it.
Kate, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you for joining, online people.
Thank you.
I'm Carmela Balducci, Acting Chair for the Board of Finance so far. Regular meeting, November 25th, 7:01. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. And the first item on our agenda is to elect a chairman of the Board of Finance. So I will entertain a motion to nominate a chairperson for the Board of Finance.
I nominate Tim Puglielli for chairman.
Tim Puglielli, is there a second?
I second.
Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, then, we'll call a vote on the nomination of Tim Puglielli for Chairman of the Board of Finance for the year 2025 to 2026. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none. Tim, you are officially elected Chairman of the Board of Finance, and I wish you the best of luck. And I'm going to give you the chair and take yours.
Oh, jeez. I was going to stay
You
over
are
here.
now in charge.
All right, we'll do musical chairs. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your vote of confidence. I appreciate it, and I hope to meet everyone's expectation. And I'll have to say, Bud's shoes are probably pretty tough to fill, so, but we'll do our best. Okay, next on the agenda, we have to select a vice chairperson. So why don't we start with, does anyone have any recommendations or motion for a vice chair?
I nominate Carmela Balducci for vice chair.
Second.
Okay, any others? Okay, can we have a vote?
Favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, very good.
Thank you all.
So, and as we move forward, if, because this is my first year on the board, so if I go in a different direction, and please feel free to speak up and let me know, and I'll make a course correction. Thank you. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is we have to approve minutes. We have quite a few minutes here, so why don't we start with the October 28th board minutes. Everybody should have received them. So can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay. Can I have a, all in favor?
Aye.
Was there
One
any discussion?
abstention.
Discussion?
I wasn't there, so I'll abstain.
Okay. Catherine abstains. Okay. No other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Okay, they're approved. The second group, we had a special meeting on November 10th, so we have to approve those minutes. Any discussion on those minutes? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the minutes, special meeting minutes for November 10th and November 18th.
Okay, you want to do them both at the same time? That's fine. Okay. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
One abstention.
and one abstention. Okay, the November 10th and 18th minutes are approved. Okay. The next item is audience and citizens. Any business for the board from the audience? I see none. So we will move on to the next item. Okay, I have, I guess, a drop-in item that I'd like to talk about first. We had a late arrival for a agenda item. Deep River Park and Rec sent in an item to discuss before and after school program proposal from Kaylee Anderson, the director. And I'd like to maybe have a discussion about adding that into this agenda for discussion purposes. So I guess I'll start with, is there any discussion on it?
Just have to make a motion to add it to your agenda, and then get a second,
Okay,
and then have your discussion.
all right. I'd like to have a motion to add that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, we'll add that to just before other business, we'll call it 12B. Okay. Next up is treasurer's report.
So I handed out a packet. It's actually the monthly financial statement that I put together. I thought it was a little bit easier for you to follow than me just rattling off figures and whatever. Second is the Deep River Town Deposits report that I usually will send out. And third is just, it's kind of small, but maybe you can, just gives you an idea of where our bond issues are and what the terms are. It doesn't have the balances, but it does list the bond issues that we have for the town. So I'm going to start off with item 1, our balances. It's the general fund totals. And you'll see the balance before the adjustments of $7,523,074.84. We take away the capital improvements borrow because those are monies that were just put into an account and they're going to be dispersed whenever. But they're from a bond issue that we gave capital improvements. So right now, if you look, there's $467,304.44 that's left to be dispersed. So the adjusted total is $7,055,770.40. And it shows from last month what the totals were too. So we have from last month to this month, there's a negative net amount of $743,562.15. Rate changes, there were rate changes this month, unfortunately, but the Federal Reserve reduced their rates by 25 basis points on October 29th, and so the banks followed suit in lowering their rates, unfortunately, because we had pretty good rates. We still have pretty decent rates. Liberty went down from 4.10 to 4% on their accounts, and the Ascend Bank, which was formerly the Guilford Savings Bank, went down actually 25 basis points from 4% down to 3 3/4%. So having said that, I did, well, I'll get to that with the wire transfers, but I did actually move monies from Ascend Bank to Liberty Bank to get the 4% rate rather than the 3 and 3.75% rate. The capital improvements borrow, which is under the general fund accounts, you'll notice that originally that bond issue that we put the monies into on account with Liberty Bank was $425,000. There were no disbursements made this month. Dispersed to date, money's $957,695.56. So remains in that account, as I had said before, is $467,304.44. We did earn interest of $1,271.46 in that account. Just for those, Barry, this is, like I said, a holding account, so the highest rate of interest that we can earn on that account is 3%. Due to it being borrowed monies that from loan proceeds that we put into an account, so we could get some interest until those monies are dispersed. So it is like a holding account until those monies are dispersed. When I called Liberty to get the rates, they told me that the rate was 3.45, and I said, well, that's great, but I said we can't take the, it has to be 3%. So the interest that I mentioned, $1,271.46, they're going to be taking back a little bit of that because that went into effect on November 6th at 3.45%. So we've got to roll it back to 3%. Item 4, the ARPA funds. So originally allocated to the town, we had $1,314,908.44. We have remaining, the monies are committed, they just haven't been dispersed. Now we have $214,055.36. There were no disbursements made this month. However, we did get interest on our monies, $835.46. So year-to-date total dispersed amount out of that original allocation is $1,100,853.08. So now, Carol, on those ARPA funds, so that money's been committed, but it hasn't been dispersed. So we have until, what, the end of the year?
Yes,
So that money has to be dispersed by the end
by
of the year?
December 2026.
Okay.
So
And
we
if it's
still
not
have a year.
dispersed, the money can go back to the town?
I think it goes back to the state.
It goes to the state? Okay.
We have to refund the state. if we
Ah,
don't spend
okay.
it.
We have a full year and a month,
Yeah, we have over a year.
So this month I made 2 wire transfers, one on 11/6 for $500,000, which went from the Liberty Bank money market account to the Citizens Bank general fund account, cover accounts payables. On 11/18, I went to Ascend Bank and had them wire $2 million to Liberty Bank, as I said before, so we can get a better interest rate, 25 basis points more. So the total of the two wires is $2,500,000 that was made this month. I do have last month's also on here. We made 3 wire transfers last month for a total of $2,250,000. Our Education Equalization Grant, the ECS grant, you'll see for the fiscal year of July 1st, 25 to 6/30/26, our total allocation for that grant is $1,654,405. We did receive our first installment on October 31st of $413,601.25. There are 3 installments, so that was the first, which represented 25% of that total. There'll be a second installment on January 31st for the same amount, and then on the third installment, or the final installment, will be on April 30th for $827,202.50. So that's 50% of the grant. So if you look at our total from our deposit report, our total balances of all our accounts total $9,247,131.32. We less the restricted accounts, which are the capital improvements borrow amount, and also the ARPA fund monies. If we take those away, which would equal $681,359.80, our net total available is $8,566,771.52. And if you look at last month, I have those totals too. There's a difference of month to month of a negative $891,134.56. Upcoming bond payments. We have our regular sewer construction bond, the USDA Clean Water Fund. As you see, that was the original principal of $3,375,000. The total cost was $4,059,066.08. That was a 20-year bond, and we make a monthly payment of principal and interest every month on the 30th of the month, and it's $16,914.76. So we've only got 5 payments remaining on that bond. So the remaining amount right now is $84,152.59. So in April of 2026, that will be paid in full, and it will free up a nice chunk of money for the town, because we've had this bond issue, like I said, for 20 years. Just some other notes. We had discussed that the Veterans Green Monument Committee was disbanded, I think last year. We did close that account with Essex Savings Bank I did close that account on November 6th. It was for $2,835.85. I transferred that to the Citizens Bank General Fund, and I'll leave that up to Carol to decide what she wants to do with it.
Well, I believe Paula looked into that, and it was kind of at a negative balance. They had spent more than
Oh, that's
they
right.
realized
That's
or
right.
something.
We did discuss that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
But
due to,
the
oh,
account's
I'm sorry.
closed. No, but the account's closed, so that was
yes.
the goal there.
Due to personnel changes, Paula was added to the town and WPCA accounts. And the Ivory Wealth Management, I'm going to contact them. I was going to wait. I know I had said last month that I would contact them, but I wanted to wait till we did name a new chair, and we have a new finance committee. So now I will, a new selectman. So now I will contact them to set up an appointment. Usually that will include the selectman, the chairman of the finance board, the a representative from the fire department, and I think Peter Lewis represents the town portion of that as a representative. And I'm just kind of throwing it out there. When would be a good time to meet? They're going to discuss the firefighters' pension plan and the town pension plan. They have not met with us. I think maybe once since they did take over. So, do you want to meet like during the day? Do you want to meet like in the afternoon? I can.
It's going to be, who's going to be there? Carol?
Why
myself.
don't you reach out to Loretta, my assistant?
Okay,
Loretta
yeah, sure.
in the selectman's office, and then she can kind of
Beautiful.
try to set something up.
Okay.
Thank you,
good.
Carl.
Okay, thank you. And just the short-term investments from the, we got the revenue, and I didn't have that on my report because I just got this today, but for the short-term investments, we were budgeted, I was budgeted $150,000. So year-to-date, this is 5 months into the fiscal year from July 1st and until November 25th when this report came out. The actual amount of interest that we've received is $84,935.51. That's 56.6% of that total. So we're kind of ahead of schedule a little bit. I hope the rates continue to be where they are, but so I'm happy to say that we are ahead of schedule there, but we still need $65,064 to meet that $150,000 budget amount.
Very good.
That's all I have.
Good. All right, thank you, Tom, and thanks for putting this together. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Do we need any kind of a motion to wrap up, Tom, or discussion? No, just move on. Okay. All right, very good. The next item on the agenda is recommendations of selectmen and any actions and recommendations. So, Carol?
Okay, well, when we met, we talked about some of the lines that looked a little high, so we can talk about that when you start going through the budget, but there was one request from the building department for a refund on permit fees of $213, which represents 50% of a permit that was issued. The job did not get completed, or was not started, rather, so it wasn't going to happen. So the Board of Selectmen approved the $213, it's $213, yeah, refund, and we just would like to bring it to the Board of Finance for approval so we can issue that refund to the
All right, so
homeowner.
that's 213, which is 50% of the permit going back to the resident. Any discussion? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Then that's a motion.
And then I would just like to also continue to the discussion about getting help in the finance office. The Board of Selectmen had met, kind of approved that moving forward, and then I believe you mentioned that when you met in your special meeting, you maybe had tweaked that a little bit, so if we could just get that finalized so that we can start advertising or start that process to get the body in to help Paula in finance.
Let me just look for the motion that we had. Okay. So when we discussed it, we had a pretty good discussion around a full-time person versus having a temporary person. And we ended up voting to have a temporary agency person come in for the first year to help Paula in the finance department clean up and catch up. I'm just, okay. So we had a motion to, I'll read it. Motion was made to engage a temporary staffing agency to supply a part-time temporary position for not more than 12 months within the finance department to support the accounting needs of the WPCA, which will be fully funded by the WPCA with a fee to the town not to exceed $55,000. This position will be evaluated 1 year from the time of engagement to determine any future requirements. So that motion was made, and it was seconded, and it was approved by the finance. The discussion behind the scenes was we felt that we still needed to understand how much was a cleanup and how much is ongoing support for Paula and the finance team. So we felt that by having a temporary agency position in to kind of clean up and catch up, and a year from now we can reevaluate before we put in a full-time position that we would have permanently. So we thought it was a good way to get this thing moving forward without committing to a position within the town. So that was the background behind it. Now, I don't know as far as process-wise, because I know the selectmen's motion was different than the finance motion, so I'm not sure what the next step is,
I'm
process-wise.
thinking we have to go to a town meeting, because it's not in the budget at all.
Yeah.
We'd have to get it approved.
But do we have to
But it's not-
circle back to the selectmen meeting or the WPCA before we do that? I would think we would have to at least get alignment with WPCA to make sure
We
that,
need to confirm WPCA's going to fund it.
Yeah,
And then we
yeah.
go to a town meeting and present it as fully funded position, but it was never in the budget, so it has to get approved by the residents.
Well, and that's where I'm confused, because if they're going to fully fund it, it's not coming out of anything that the Board of Finance oversees. Maybe next year, if they don't fund it, but if they're going to fully fund it this year, that's where I'm a little confused.
well, the discussion we were having is once a person is hired within town hall and within finance, the feeling was if the WPCA did not fund this thing a year from now, we would be in a position where we'd have to lay off that person.
Correct.
And we didn't want to be, number one, we weren't 100% convinced as a team that we needed a full-time position until the work is cleaned up. And we reassessed. And number two, if we did need that person going forward, or if the WPCA didn't fund it, it would put us in a position where we would be forced to lay off that person that we hired. So that was the back and
I
forth.
understand. It's like, I think I said early on about, when we receive grants, for a paraeducator or a teacher, and when those grants go away,
You keep the
then
person.
we're stuck with it. I understand that 100%. But my concern was that it's not costing us anything right now. And I understand, let's try it out temporarily and see where we are in a year from now. I understand that, but I don't see why it has to go to town meeting if it's being funded by another source.
Would there be a problem with WPCA accepting that as a motion? That it be a person that's a temp hire to see how the year works out? And then at the end of the year, if that person is needed, then you readjust your invite to the person, stay on or whatever, or not?
I think the day that we had that workshop up here with those people, the WPCA, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I brought up and I said, what happens next year?
Right.
And they said, well, if they aren't doing the job, we're going to get rid of them. And we're going to want to get rid of them too. But they said, if they're doing the job, we're going to keep funding it. That's what I heard, right?
Yeah.
So that's where, if it was me, I would like to see something in writing that they're going to fund it at X number of dollars for the year. So we have some,
But I think the question was on a procedure of this. Where does it go? Once the Board of Finance created a motion, did it supersede the WPCA motion? Did it supersede what you guys voted on?
and that's my question, Carmel, because again, it's not coming out of the budget.
So we can go back to the WPCA, and as a chair, I can go back to the WPCA and say, this is what we're proposing, and this is what we approved. Are you willing to accept that approach? And then if they accept it in writing, then I think we have alignment that a position is ready to be filled. I think the only disconnect then is the finance board wants it temporary for the first year. The selectmen had voted that it'd be a more permanent position. I don't know if we have to, procedurally have to go backwards.
I don't care if it's permanent or not. I'm looking to help the finance department out, whatever way it is, whether it's a part-time help for 1 year. But my concern is, like I said, if it's being funded by an outsource, I don't see why it would have to go to a town meeting to get approval.
Well, I think if the money is getting transferred into the general fund from the WPCA monies, and they're getting cut a paycheck from the town, then it's, the money's mixed. That's why I think the town residents should be aware that this is going on, instead of just showing up and having a new employee here without any,
As my first day in the business, I think I'd be comfortable with that until I fully understand. I'd rather err on the side of caution and have a town meeting to make it transparent.
but I agree with Dwayne, let's go back to the WPCA, would be my recommendation. And then get something in writing that says, we are funding this. Because then when we go to the town meeting, it's basically a wash, and I would think that any resident would say, oh, okay, but,
I'll take that action to reach out to Scott Connor and then circle back with you, Carol, and then we'll see if we can get it in writing. Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the one final thing Dwayne reminded me about, everyone knows that there was a big issue with the town hall back in the end of August, water damage from a failed HVAC unit or whatever. The insurance will cover most of that. Dick Layton had that, we were about 10,000 that the insurance wouldn't cover. Dwayne, I guess, had a discussion with Dick when I was gone. I guess that number's up to about 12,000 they're not going to cover for the heating. So again, when Dick met with all of us a couple months ago or a month ago, he said he thought it'd be about 10,000 wouldn't get covered, but now it's 12.
He said yesterday, I spoke to him yesterday, and he said it's in the range of 12,000, but, don't hold me to that $12,000 number. But that's something that the insurance company will not cover. He's fighting with them to try to get him to cover it, but he's not feeling optimistic about it.
Okay, so this is kind of a heads up until we get the finalized number.
Right.
Correct.
All right, and then we have to
Just wanted
determine
to put it on the
where it
radar
fits in the
that-
budget.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right, very good. Thank you.
Could I just ask, are we doing anything with the letter we got from Tony Baldock? Or is that further discussion?
That, I thought it would be more for a discussion for budget purposes. So Tony
Okay.
reached out, and did you all get CC'd on that?
Yes.
So he's looking to increase our zoning enforcement officer's hours by 8 hours a week. Currently, she works 6 hours, Monday and Wednesday, 9 to 12. So that would give her opportunity. I think she told me she'd probably come in like Tuesdays and Thursdays, not have office hours, but give her some time behind the scenes to get things done.
But the plan is not to go into next year's budget. I thought it was, I felt like it was an
Did he want it
immediate need.
immediate?
I've got the letter here.
I'm
It's
feeling
helpful.
that it's now.
Oh, okay.
That's how I'm feeling it, because of all the extra FOI stuff that she's working on.
Yeah, okay.
It's taking a lot of her time.
Then I just said skimmed it. I thought it was for kind of next year to get on the radar. So
Yeah, I skimmed it thinking it was going to be a budget item for next year.
Okay, so-
No, they're all backed up. They need the hours.
Maybe, Carol, maybe you can reach out to Tony and see if he's looking for it now, or,
Yeah, I know, I can.
or you can,
I was
you were there.
planning and zoning, so I'll reach out to Tony this week, and
Okay.
we'll circle back with, but for now, if everybody could read the letter and be ready to discuss it.
But I do support it. I mean, I do see that she's very limited working up there, and people are lined up sometimes to talk to her, and she can't get any of the other stuff done in the office.
All right, is that it? Okay. All right, the next item, we actually just talked about already. It's the update on the WPCA funding. So we already covered that, and we have an action to take care of that. Update on anticipated 2025-2026 financing. So that's how we are going to pay and finance the firehouse, the fire trucks, the payloader, and the brush truck. So I reached out to, we have this consultant from Munistat Services. His name is Mark Chapman. We've all met him. He's been working with Paula, our finance director. Paula's been supplying data and information so that Mark and his team can put together a package so that we can go out for a short-term loan and bonding. So the draft package, he is committed to getting it done by Monday. There will be some holes in the package, meaning we need some more data. So I think the process is going to be, Mark will send us a draft, and then we probably need to get together and with the folks who need to supply the information, so Paula, maybe the selectman office, so that we can fill in the missing pieces. And once we get the missing pieces in place and we finalize it, it'll be ready to go to market. And the intent is to try and get this laying flat and financing by February, because that's when the first major payment is due, which is February, the fire truck, if the chassis comes in on time, it would be a $658,000 payment for that prepayment on the chassis. So that's where we're at with that. There's also a payment prior to that, the brush truck of $149,000 in January. So I know there wasn't a firehouse meeting this month or last week. It was canceled. I don't know if anybody has any.
Canceled.
So I don't know if there's any new information on the status of the firehouse. And that would change, the current estimates for financing. Does anyone know anything?
No
I
information.
think they're still looking for land.
Yeah. So right now, unless something changes on the firehouse situation, I think the only financing we'll need will be the February payment and the brush truck payment. So once we get this package and we're going to market, I would think, do we need a town meeting to approve before we actually sign a short-term loan or bond?
I would think we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though they gave us the vote, they gave us the referendum.
Referendum.
I think we have the approval.
Yeah.
You could update it, but I think we have the approval.
Yeah, well, I think generally we have the approval,
Yeah.
but if there's
It could
any
be a
specifics.
transparency
then-
meeting, but, the referendum speaks for itself, I
Yeah.
believe.
Well, we have our town lawyers are working with Munistat on the project, so I'm sure if we'll double check with them just to make sure. If we don't need one, we don't need one. If we do, we will.
Well, it was so long ago, it would just be nice
Yeah.
to be that
Yeah.
transparency of, reacquaint the residents with, this is what you approved, this is
Yeah.
kind of what we're doing, and,
I agree. So probably January timeframe, we'd probably be ready for that, depending on where we go with the package. Paula, you know how much information still needs to be required. What are your thoughts as far as, when the information will be finalized to Mark? Any idea? Yes?
I could hope by the end of next week, after I get the draft from him.
Okay. So we'll get together midweek next week probably and just, is there any help you
Fill the
need?
gaps,
Because
yeah.
there might be some information.
Yeah, there's some that could be helpful from others to.
Yeah. I know, like on the narratives about the town, you need all that
Right.
information. The planning and zoning team just put together they've been working on it for years, that plan of conservation, which has all sorts of great information. So you might be able to pull from there to get, next week we'll talk. Okay. All right, any questions on financing? Okay. Update on alternate to current ADM measurement working group. Jackie?
So the last meeting, we were meeting every other Monday. There were only 3 of us there, so we really did not have a meeting. But also we're waiting for Bob Grissom to give us more data, because the data we have isn't the best. There's mixed numbers between what he's saying and what that company that does the projections are projecting. So I think we're trying to get more accurate data before we can move forward. We also are in the throes of other members of the group being open to looking at something else besides ADM, like grand lists and things like that. I don't know where it's going to go, but at least we're having some discussions about that. So it really, I think like all of the committees that are forming for Regional 4 and looking at something different, it's a very slow process and it's going to take a while. I think Chester was hoping to have something in place by next budget season, but I don't believe that will happen at this point. But we continue to meet.
Okay. Any questions for Jackie? All right, let's go to the next item. This is the fun one, 24 to 25 budget review. So we're going to go through the actuals to budget. And Paula sent out reports, and I think she handed out copies also. Let's see here. So this is the report I'm going to go through, so that we're all using the same.
Is that this year's though? Not the 24-25?
This is 11/25/25.
It is for this fiscal year.
Right, 'cause the-
26.
Because it says update on timing of the 24-25 year-end budget financials.
Oh, okay, that was it, thank you.
That we haven't.
That was a clerical, so it should be 25, 26 actuals budget. Oh, no, I'm
No.
sorry, you're right. Before we go to this, we need to get an update on where we are with cleaning up 24, 25.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Okay.
that correction, I appreciate it.
Still slow going. Very slow going. Yeah, we're not close to tying out last fiscal year.
And we can't start the audit for 24, 25 until that cleanup?
Right, and typically, the audit and the finalization of it has been late every year. That's unfortunately been the way things have gone here. And for this year, this closing of 24, 25, I can see that happening. I've already asked if they'll put in the extension, the auditors to put in the extension for next year. So that's going to be done, and matter of fact, I'm waiting to hear from them when they are going to come out and start looking at things.
Okay. And I don't know if you know off the top of your head, last year, what was the date of the audit for the
But they
previous year?
finalized it,
Yeah.
it was April or May.
April or May.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, okay.
finalized it, yeah.
All right, just kind of set expectations of where we're at. All right, any questions on the 24-25 cleanup? And Carmella, sorry for saying there was a typo, it was not a typo. All right, now we're on to the 25-26 budget review. And that's this report. So what I would suggest, because as you know, I sat down with Paul, and actually Carmella sat down with us too, and Carol, and we went through about 4 or 5 hours of this report. So the intent is to not take 5 hours to do it. We kind of did it to really dig into the details. But what I would suggest is this report shows the financials all the way up to 11/25, which is about 4.5 months worth. So that's 38% of the year. So as we go down here, we'll focus on items that are over 38%, and then look at the dollar amount too, because if it's over 38% and we're only dealing with $100, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. So I'll spend as much time as everybody wants in this room. I'm just trying to set a process here that keeps us moving forward. So please speak up, ask questions. And I will start on page 1 with tax revenues. You see in total, we've collected 57%, which is obviously well above the 38%. And the main driver there is, I think, the not only real estate, but personal property, auto taxes all come in the first half of the year. So that's why we get more than half of the revenue up front. So obviously that's good news there. Looking at the highest line item, which is the property tax, that's 56.8%. So we're in good shape in revenue. And the last time we looked at it, this has gone up 92,000. So a small change from last time. Any questions on that category?
Where do the property taxes in arrears show up? Are they bundled into this number?
It's the fourth line down.
Fourth
Yeah.
line down?
Yeah, there's and
All
this
right,
is
thank you.
something
See it?
when we get all the help
Okay.
we're gonna look into.
Yeah.
But there's another report that shows the full name.
Yes, that's,
And
I love
just,
that
yeah,
report.
just so you know. So I think once we get Paula some help, I think one of the things we want to do is put the full name on.
Yeah,
you know.
unfortunately, it's going to look like this.
Yeah.
I've asked a couple of times the software people, and they can't extend this any further than it is.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk, for now, we got the two
Have
reports to
titles,
help.
yeah.
So it's the fourth one down, you said? 2, 3, 4. And that's actually good news because 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we collected,
180.
180, which is 150% of what we budgeted, so that's good news. Okay, the next category is current service charges, and you could see that it's only 9.8%, which, begs the question. But when you look at the major items, one of the major items we haven't collected yet is the WPCA debt reimbursement. So Paula, do we know the timing on that? Have you heard anything?
Typically, from what I've seen in history, it's the end of the year that an invoice is sent to them and they issue it. I know we had mentioned, I think at our last meeting, that maybe we would ask for it earlier rather than wait for the end of the year.
Okay. I'm going to be speaking with Scott, the treasurer. Why don't, rather than, throw an invoice out there and get some dispute.
Right.
I'll bring that up in the conversation too, if everyone else is okay with that. And see if they're favorable to it, and then we'll invoice them.
Okay.
So, let me just write that down. All right, when you take that out of the equation, that gets you to I would say roughly the 38%. Any other questions in those categories? All right, moving to the next one, leases and permits. We're at 37.7%. I had no questions in those categories. Anyone else have any questions in those categories?
I have one. For the building permits, I know we've talked about this, but how much of that 110,000 is Valley and John Winthrop versus new buildings in town? Do we have any idea?
I apologize, Jackie.
Okay.
I haven't put that together
All
for
right.
you yet.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's new money this year. I will look.
New money?
I think the majority for Region 4 was last fiscal year, no? I'll check.
Okay.
Okay. Next category is federal state funds. And we're slightly below budget on that, 28.4%. But the first line item on there, year-to-date, we collected $419,000. That was 25%. And that's the Education Equalization Grant. And according to Paula, we get 25% in the first quarter.
Yeah, and
25%
Tom
coming,
said that. Yeah.
coming up.
the first quarter
Yeah.
on October 31st.
Yeah. So once we get that second quarter, that'll get this category back up to budget. So that's just a timing issue.
We just finished this.
And the only other question that I had was on the town aid road budget of 197. We received 131. And
Yes,
I saw
so-
your email, so go ahead.
Right, yeah, what's happening with that is that's 50% of what we're expecting. The governor in September decided to give everyone 33% more than the prior year, and so it comes in two halves. So the 131 will get about that same amount later in the year.
Okay. So those two alone will get us well above
Well above,
our
yes.
budget.
And the 104,000 for the municipal grant projects?
So that is just a broad-based grant. They just call it, what did I put down here?
OPM,
Yeah, it's from OPM, and it's just,
municipal
yeah,
projects.
municipal projects, and yeah, it's not earmarked for anything in particular that I've seen in any of our notes.
As far as timing on that, any idea when that would come?
Timing, let me remember.
'Cause I didn't see that in your email.
It came in, when I looked last year, that was later in the year. I believe it was, could have been June. I'll double check.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, that it was in June. Came in very late.
Okay, any other questions on federal and state funds? All right, let's move to miscellaneous revenue. Miscellaneous revenue, we're at 51%, favorable to budget. And the big item there, Tom already talked about, the short-term investments. Interest rates have been favorable to us, so I think we'll thank the Federal Reserve for that, and we'll thank Tom also, who's A member of the,
Right.
member of the
Paying
Federation.
attention.
Okay. All right, unless there's any other questions, now we're going to move into expenses. The first category is the Selectman Office. The total for the Selectman Office is at 33%, so that's favorable. And then if you want to go down to the individual items, there are some over and some under. I'm comfortable with this category. I don't know if anyone has any questions on it. Okay. The next one is the Finance Department, 29%. We're favorable to budget. So I have no questions in this category. Anyone else? Okay. Elections, 27%, and we just got through with elections, so that expenses going forward would probably be less, I would expect, so I think we're in good shape there. Any questions? Okay. Next category, Town Hall Operations. Town Hall Operations in total, we're at 30%, so we're favorable to budget. And the only one I questioned was the telecommunication. We're at 54%, but Paula tells me there's a new contract that we're putting in place to reduce costs there.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to give us any,
We already put in for, I believe Catherine worked on this too.
Schooley Mitchell
Schooley Mitchell.
Consultants.
And they went in and looked at Frontier, Comcast. They're trying to look at Vonage, all of those, and decide where they can save us money. And they go to those companies and they have worked out getting better money amounts than we could ever get. So Carol has signed a couple of those contracts already for the Comcast and Spectratel. The one that we're holding off on a bit is Frontier, in that we also have the opportunity for the CEN, which is the Connecticut Education Network, for the fiber that can be coming in. And so that's something that we're looking into to run. So Frontier will stay with us probably until the CEN comes through, and it quite possibly is Frontier's fiber. But that will be, I believe, in not until like summer they might start working on that. So definitely we'll see reductions now a little bit. We'll have more reductions once the Frontier contract is signed. That one we're tweaking because the original one was a 5-year. We didn't like that. And we found out that the state automatically has one that's less expensive, no contract, month to month, leave any time. So that's the one we want to pick up, and that's going to be less expensive also.
okay, good. Any questions on that? And the only other line item I noted was the sewer fees at 111%, and apparently we budgeted and then they increased the fees, so we kind of missed that in the timing. So that will continue to be over budget, that line item, I assume. Okay, moving to town clerk, 31.7%, and I didn't identify anything worthy of discussing. Anyone else? Next item, Board of Finance. Apparently we haven't spent anything, so I guess we're kind of leading the way here. Okay, next item, Board of Assessment Appeals, and that's only a $1,200 budget, and we haven't spent anything on that. Next item, Assessor. Assessor, we're at 29.6%, and so they're slightly below budget. I didn't have anything on that. I'll keep on going unless somebody screams and stops me. Tax collector, 48.5%. That is over budget. It looks like
One-time fee to the computer
Part-time.
programs.
And computer.
yeah, so I did not see that, so I didn't ask a question. Do we know what's going on
I'm
there?
sure it's the software
It-
that gets
yeah.
paid upfront.
Up front?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that'll bring that right in line then. Special services, 50.9%, and I noted the REG ACO, so that's animal control. It's a one-time payment that's made, I believe.
Yes.
I'm sorry, can we go back just for a second? Did you
Sure.
say on the computer services, was that an annual contract? That's why we're over? It was the timing of the contract payment?
Yeah, it's $11,931. It's
Yeah.
a one-time payment.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
All right, thanks.
Yes, yes, okay. All right, so the animal control was a one-time payment up front. Is that correct? 42,000?
Yes.
All right, so that's what drove this to 50%. And then the computer support is over budget, and we're projecting it to stay over budget.
Yes, stay over budget through year end.
And what drove that, just so we have an understanding? We have a contract with them, is it?
We do. They have a $8,000 annual fee, and then they have like a $1,600 monthly, which just that alone would put us over. So maybe when the budget was drawn, all of those numbers weren't in there. And then we also had a firewall that was purchased, which was an additional $4,000. So that's what put that.
So my note is that we're projecting it to be $7,000 over budget by the end of the year. Does that make sense?
Right. We're tossing around the idea of moving that 4,000 to another place where we have money for accounting and web and things like that. So,
Okay, so we'll look at that.
yeah.
Okay. At what point, and this is more of a learning question for me, at what point when there's a line item that's over budget, does it require going back to a town meeting for either information or vote? I'm not talking any specific line item, I'm just a general question. I don't know if we have an answer for that. Or
Go ahead.
No, it's over, I believe, 5,000. There's a 10,000 that we have to go to a town meeting and move it.
okay.
I believe that's
5,000 or 10,000?
10,000?
10.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, Tim, but I know that it's over 10,000. We have to go to a town meeting and move the money, I
Well, you
believe.
can move 20.
Yeah, you can move up to 20.
Okay. I'll do some research too. Okay. So, and is that a specific line item or is it in a general category? Because, so for instance, we're talking about special services and you have all those line items within there. Is it right down to the line item or is it within that category?
Typically, you look in the category, and
Yeah.
if the bottom is okay, like there's some
Yeah.
movement in there, and you
Yeah.
guys can.
Okay,
up to
that makes sense,
20,000
'cause
without a
that
town
makes sense.
Meeting, yep.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification. I appreciate it. All right, planning and zoning. Right now, they're at 18%, so they're well favorable to budget, and I don't see any questions there. Zoning Board of Appeals, they virtually have no budget and they haven't spent anything, so. Building official. Building officials at 70%. So this is one where I asked some questions for clarity. And so right now, what's driving that is the building official at $35,000. And if you run rated that out, it would be about $80,000 for the end of the year, which obviously is a 100% over budget. But I asked Paula to look at previous years, and when you look at 23-24, the actuals were 91,000, and 24-25, the actuals were 104,000. So there's nothing. It's not like there was some kind of event that happened that increased cost this year. I think this was more of a budgeting miscue, because this category is spent continuously over the last 3 budget cycles, 80, 90,000, 100,000.
But doesn't it get repaid again when monies come back from the Region 4?
I was going to jump in. I believe, Tim, if you go back to page 1 on the building permits, it gets offset, I believe. That one historically is over. We generate more money for, Dick generates more money there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
I don't
think.
know how he,
Yeah, I'm comfortable with, the expense has been about the same every year for the last 3 years. So it's not like we increased it by 100%. But
Well, he's
I don't
put-
understand.
Past 3 years, well, 2 years, we've had the mold issue up, the mold, they spent a lot of time up there, and then we've had the new field construction up there, so he has spent a lot of time.
Who's paying that salary? Is it Regional 4 or is it
Part of-
Deep
that's
River?
part of the building permits.
But the question is do they balance out?
That's what I'm saying. If you look historically, he's over, but he generates more on the income.
But
And I guess my point,
Sounds a little loose.
I think you got to separate those two. I don't think we have an issue here. I think the issue is if it's anything, and I don't have history here because I didn't do it. You know, why did we set a $35,000 budget on a line item that was consistently 90,000, 100,000? I think that's the question. It's not that this official is somehow, you know, charging the town more than normal. That's what has always been historically. It's why was it budgeted at 35,000? And I don't know if anyone has any history on that. But the other discussion point is permits come in based on this activity. So, but I think those are two separate. We probably should have budgeted this at the proper level.
You should probably sit and talk to Dick,
Yeah.
or, you know, you, Dick and Paul, and have him explain how he does his billing and stuff,
Yeah.
and they can answer your question, Carmel, who pays, the Region 4 pay for it?
because I just think we want to make sure that the building permits are at least minimally covering the work he's doing at Regional 4. I think that's critical to know.
But does, and maybe in this discussion we'll find this out, but did he do the same amount of work at Regional 4 last year and the year before? You know, so I'll take it on and have a discussion with him. But I think at the end of the day, there's a disconnect between the budget and the actuals that shows a major, you know, offset. So we either have to, you know, move money around or somehow cover this line item. And it sounds like, I don't know if anybody had any history on why it was 35,000. I don't. Yeah. So, all right, I will talk to Dick and then maybe look at how we can move some funds around. We probably have to have
Tim,
a town
if
meeting to make it transparent, so.
If he's doing work for buildings with Region 4, is it our responsibility? Does his bill the other school systems like Chester and Old Lyme or Essex, or is it just Deep River?
Yeah, I think,
The building permit, depending on the cost of the construction, there's a percentage gets paid for the permit. And then he gets paid out of the permit fees. I mean, basically, he's bringing in money to pay his salary is kind of how it's supposed to work.
yeah. So you're right.
So he's not billing them separate, like the money that he brings in the building fees is paying for him to do the work.
Whether it's Region 4 or Adams putting something on their building or somebody building a garage, there's a scale, right? Depending on how much you spend, that's how much the permit is. And in theory, that permit money covers expenses like the building official, like the zoning official, and everybody else who's involved in that process. So that's the intent of the zoning money. But regardless, if we were, you know, sitting down and budgeting this line item today, we would look at the past 3 years' activities and probably budget it based on that, not, and it looks like every year, for some reason, they kept it at 35, 34, 33. So if you look at past reports, I think you'll see that it was, so I think we need to, I'll talk to Dick on several items, the school and what work he's doing there. I'll talk to Dick about, does he know, you know, does he understand or know why, because this has been every year like this, why the budget is set so differently than the actuals, and then I'll report back what we learn.
Okay.
But clearly this has to be fixed from a going forward. Inlands, wetlands, 27%, no questions there. Insurance and bonds, so that's 59%, and so we made a $75,000 payment, and I believe that's a two installment payment.
I'm sorry, I was taking notes. Where are we?
We're on insurance and bonds. We're at 59%. Year-to-date, we spent 75,000 of the 127.
We pay that in 2 installments.
Okay, so,
And then we also pay cyber
Yeah.
insurance
so
one time.
we're not expecting that to go over budget?
No.
Okay. Employee benefits, we're at 23%, but I do have some questions on employee benefits, just from my understanding. The medical insurance actuals, is that a monthly payment we make to insurance companies? We're not self-funded in any way, are we?
We're not self-funded.
Okay. So is that a quarterly payment, monthly payment? Monthly. Okay. And same thing with life insurance. Is life insurance monthly, or is it, well, I actually wanted to go down to pension, not life insurance. Life insurance is pretty cut and dry. The pension, when do we fund, is that funding of the pension?
That's year end.
That's
They
year
don't
end.
fund that until June.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then FICA is just payroll. Okay. Anybody have any questions on employee benefits? And that's where, Tom, we're going to set up a meeting. I think Tom left already to talk pensions anyway. Police protection, 19.6%. That's favorable to budget, but I am told that the resident trooper bill doesn't come in until the end of the year.
Right.
So in that case, it's worthy of looking at the individual line items. And there's one at 61% over, number 4, which is overtime. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so that line covers all the different town activities like the muster, Deep River Days, those kinds of things where either police officers are needed or sometimes the firefighters are needed.
Is the muster the biggest expense out of all of them? Or?
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Remind me.
Deep River Day could
I should
be
I should
up
know
there,
this.
too.
I always watch it. What month is the muster?
July, third Saturday of July.
So that's in the new budget cycle of next year. Okay. The reason I was asking is if it's not going to hit this year, then that line is probably going to settle down.
Right, I'm not sure what other events you guys have
The
in the
Christmas
spring.
thing coming up in December, right?
Yeah. But I imagine the muster is the.
And then like Memorial Day Parade, and like there'll be a few things that'll still hit that over time. But you're right, it pays for the fire police is in that line too.
All right.
The only
Anyone?
one I would keep an eye on, Tim, is the vehicle maintenance. Let's see, they've spent a lot on that.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And how many police vehicles do we have? Three.
Three or four? I think there may be two spares sitting up there. I'm not 100% sure.
I thought it was 4.
All right, noted. Okay, fire department is at 12%, and the only line item that's over is supplemental insurance, but I'm sure that's the timing of the bill, I bet.
Yes.
Okay. All right, fire marshal, that's at 33%, we're good there. Communication center, okay. This one we're over, but part of it's because that's a semi-annual bill of $40,000, so that'll come in line. But there is a line item here, the fire monitoring was a new item after budgeting. I guess we learned that the Valley 911 system that used to also monitor fire no longer does that, so the town had to sign a contract for fire monitoring for the buildings. Obviously a must-do, so that's a new item that we'll have to look at budgeting for next year. And so is that $1,700 a quarterly bill, monthly bill? Do we know?
Quarterly.
Quarterly. So that'll be, all right, so that should be within our threshold, right? So that would be
6,800? You got to multiply that by 4?
No, 1,772, fire monitoring.
Yep.
Under communication
So
center.
this is 3/4 worth?
No, actually, the first invoice that they sent was covering October to December. So that's 1/4. And I'm wondering, did they give us free July to September, or did they just not realize they didn't bill us, so.
So that's going to run us about 6,900 a year?
Yeah, 7,200.
It will, yeah, for an annual.
Yeah, which, okay, it's within our threat. It doesn't, I'll do some research, but based on our earlier discussion, it won't require a town meeting discussion. Okay. All right, next item is civil preparedness, and we're okay there. And next item is highway. And the highway department, we're at 41.9%, so we're unfavorable to budget. The first item that's unfavorable is general road maintenance, which is at 48.8%. I don't know if anyone has any information on
Do the seasonality of when they can do the paving? That's the paving.
Is it the paving?
Shouldn't that have been charged to last year's budget? Because it was budgeted for last year.
It wasn't done till...
And I know, but I thought we carried it over.
We had this discussion. What did you decide?
The town aid road, I think, is what you're thinking about.
Right, but remember
because
we
it's
were
already
talking about the
been-
paving.
Pardon?
Speak up a little bit.
Sure.
Remember the paving, we're using last year's budget to
Right.
roll over and...
Yeah, and so the majority, I think you're talking about the town aid road where you're seeing that's at, where are we? I lost it.
Well, one's at 100,000 and the other's at 187,000.
Yep. So, the town aid road, what's actually happening with that is we're going to be moving those to the capital fund so that we don't have to work backwards. We can just have that money in there and carrying for when the work actually gets done instead of having it done in this year and back charging it to the prior year. It'll be in the capital fund. Even though you're seeing that here, we are getting additional monies which could help with this year, unless they, again, carry it to next year. So between the general road line and the town aid road, we should be fine for this fiscal year.
But I think if we look at last fiscal year, virtually nothing was spent.
Right, because they used it, yes.
So should this get,
So what's going to happen is we're going to move so last fiscal year, since nothing was spent, and again, I need to talk with you to know how you guys want to do this, but the recommendation is that we take that money and we say it doesn't get rolled into the general fund. That was specifically for this work. We're going to move it down into capital, and that money stays there, and then every time the new money comes in from Town Aid Road and LoCIP, we're going to do the same thing, is that goes in the capital fund, so that money is there to use.
And the
when-
capital fund just rolls
It
over year over year?
rolls, yes, it rolls
And then when we
year.
do the work, we'll pull it out of the capital fund to
Yes.
match?
Yes. Well, that's where it will be, the expenses will be posted.
Okay, so going
It's in the
forward, we'll
cap-
put the expenses in the capital fund?
Yes,
All right.
yes.
But-
And that way,
but-
there's not going to be any timing issue.
But for this year, with these two items, do we have money in the capital fund right now allocated to these? Like the money that we
Not
didn't spend
yet,
last year?
Because we haven't done that move. So you could look at it that, right now, if you just take that 187,758, that's at the Town Aid Road,
Mm-hmm.
and just say that hasn't been spent yet.
Because where is the money that we didn't spend last year, where is that accounted for?
If we
What account
didn't-
is it in?
It's in the general fund sitting right now. If we were to close the year right now without doing anything, that money would just roll into the fund balance for the general fund, and it shouldn't do that. It's supposed to be spent for
So-
the roads.
So what's
So
left will
it
move
would
into
be-
the capital account, I
Right,
understand that.
and then
And are we going to take some of that that's in the general fund to offset this, the 187? When you say it goes away, how does it go away, the 187?
So, meaning, what will happen is the last fiscal year, and again, I don't know if we're supposed to take a vote, go to town meeting, like, I don't know what we should do, but to decide that the money, when we close last fiscal year, we're not just gonna net everything out and everything that's over and above sits in our undesignated funds. Like, it shouldn't be that way. It's earmarked for Town Aid Road. It wasn't spent in that year. So what will happen is, when we close that out, that money, instead of sitting in the general fund, is going to be moved to the capital fund. And it's sitting there waiting to be spent, so now we have the 190,
Okay.
you know, the same amount of money, we'll have that 193, whatever it is, sitting in our capital fund. We're gonna get another 193 this fiscal year for that capital fund, and it can sit there and just carry and spend as we need it, rather than
I think, so,
this whole timing.
so we have to close our books first for 24, 25.
Right.
Move it to the capital account.
Right.
At that
And then
point,
this
it'll be in the
can move-
capital account.
Exactly.
And then we'll move this into the capital account to
Exactly.
zero it out. I understand it now.
Okay.
Everybody else got it?
Got it.
I got it, okay. Very good, thank you.
And I don't think it has to go to a town meeting, would be my guess, because the town already approved the budget
Yeah.
for it to be spent on the roads.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's already, that this is, what we just described was just accounting entries.
Right.
To be honest. But we had to understand it and to know how this becomes zero, or at least I needed to understand it. Okay, so that'll put this in the favorable column when we do that, so that's good. Public utilities, 37%. I had I don't know if it's quick, but street lighting's at 47%, and I was just curious how that could be. I mean, maybe it's seasonal, because when it's dark out, we get charged more for
Didn't
lighting.
you have to replace lights or
Yeah.
poles or something for street lights?
One was hit in an accident, and they were going to try to
Right.
go after the person's insurance company for reimbursement, right?
Yes?
I don't recall replacing streetlights, no.
So is our lighting?
I was saying yes
That
to
was one of the
Mike,
black
like we go
poles.
after.
Correct, but it had a light on it, right?
Yeah. That was 7,000.
Yeah, it was like a special.
That one of the special poles.
Yes, and then we were going after the person that hit it, because there was a police report. Kind of tracking that.
Have we ever, and can we, or should we, work with Eversource about street lighting? Because I've noticed, like, there's some lights that are on 24/7 in certain places. They just don't shut off. To see if there's anything we can do to lower the costs for street lighting?
I have reached out to them, they said they could come out and do an audit with me, walk around. But if you notice the light is on, if you could get like the number, you know.
Sure.
Just had this discussion with John today.
Okay.
You pay a flat fee for the light, like on the pole. It's not like a meter on every light pole, so it's not actually costing the taxpayer.
Oh, whether it's on or off, it's a flat rate.
Yeah. The
So,
lights on Main Street, like the black lights.
Yeah.
Those are paid by all of us. The ones on the pole, like on the telephone pole, are paid by the town, but it's a flat fee per light. You pay for the light.
yeah.
So that would mean every month the bill would be the same, and I don't know when I found that they
Fluctuates
were.
a little.
It does.
Yeah, they fluctuate.
They fluctuate.
But Jackie, if you could get the name of the number of those or something, then we could kind of complain that they need to shut them off or something, so.
Jackie, you want to take the action of looking at the bill and understanding it?
She was already.
Well, I already have, because
I know. It sounds like you're already halfway there.
I think this is one of the areas that School Lee Mitchell could go into if you're wanting to extend what they look at.
Right. I know they also do that type of work.
Oh, what's that? That's the,
The consulting firm, School Lee Mitchell.
okay, so how do we make that happen? Who,
You'd have to ask them for a proposal
Right.
on it, and the way they work is there's a certain, they split savings, so, you know, that is one avenue to try to figure this out.
why don't we start with, Jack, if you want to? and-
Yeah, I'll drive around and look for lights
No,
on.
no.
Lights are on, nobody's home.
It's like having a bunch of teenagers in town.
I was just saying, grab a copy of the bill, take a look at it, and see what the categories are. And,
Yeah.
and
I know how to do that.
Educate me.
Next week I'll be back.
There's about 28 bills.
Yes.
There's not just one Eversource bill, there's about 28 of them.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you could look at all.
I actually used to put them into a
Stupid amount of
spreadsheet
bills.
for them, that's why I'm so familiar
You
with
found
code.
that out, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so more understanding coming on the lighting.
Does that include the light also down at Flatwood Park? The one that's over the
Some of the lights.
skateboards?
Yeah, it's on all the time,
Yeah,
isn't
it's constantly on.
The one by the basketball courts is on
Yeah.
a timer. So if it's
It is?
on, then that means maybe the solar cell is gone or something like that, or the timer's broken. It's supposed to shut off at 10 PM, and then but between like 7 and 10, you can hit the switch, it'll go on, so you can play night basketball. But if it's on 24/7, then there's a problem, so definitely let me know.
That's a really
Okay.
I will check on it. I haven't seen it on, but I'll check it out.
Actually, does all of this come under the highway department? Or should we have, I mean, this is terrific, people are stepping up. Should there be a process for checking these lights by somebody who's actually a town crew member? I oppose that. I mean, this is terrific, we're looking at it, but it seems to me this is a little haphazard. Does it fall under anyone's responsibility?
Well, if it's in the parks, probably it's Park and Rec. But again, it's your meeting, so.
So my
We're
question
gonna start
would be,
talking
is there
about town crew
something
items, then
we want to,
it's not Board of Finance.
we're looking at the expense of it. You're talking about the hours of it.
Okay. All right, so a couple things on lighting then. Jackie will do a little research on the 28, and as far as Park and Rec, I think we're going to have the Park and Rec person here soon. We can have a discussion with that person on lighting in the parks and see if that responsibility falls there. That's a good suggestion. And we'll go from there. So. All right.
Interject something, if I can right now.
Waste removal?
she has a
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Can I interject something? Just
Sure.
a thought pattern too. It was part of my job outside of here. When the police are on patrol, it's often something that we do would be to report if lights are out. So maybe that would be something that we can have a discussion about when the police are patrolling, calling in lights that are on or off.
Good idea.
Public safety.
Well, I don't know if this is appropriate, but can I kick over a suggestion for an agenda on the select person's meeting? Is that appropriate? I don't want to overstep. Because it sounds like maybe the action would be, in each area, who's responsible for lighting, and can we get them to put a plan together on
Right,
managing.
and that seems to answer a little bit of
managing
everything as far as process and public safety and.
Because I think it falls better under you guys than under finance, I think, but I'm learning. So if I'm wrong, just speak up. All right. Waste removal is at 32%. That's favorable to budget. Sanitarian, 48%. And I have a question.
Can I just back up for a second under waste removal? And I know we're looking at the total numbers, but did we just underestimate the cost of muster lavatories? Did they go up?
So you're looking at like the fifth line down, that, we're looking to get money back on that one.
Are we, because it's
The 1940?
76% over the budget.
Yeah, where the expenditure is 1940?
Yes.
And, yes, yep, we're expecting that back.
Thank you.
I think that's when you said got double paid.
What's that?
That one, we double paid that or something, so money's coming back.
Sanitarian, health, that's at 48% over budget. I've got a question mark, and I don't know, I don't have any answers, so. This is the $25,000 year-to-date. What is that? It's the health district. Let's see.
Yes,
Full name.
we get billed twice a year.
That's another timing?
Yeah, paid twice a year.
So no issue there.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, public health, nursing services, the category is at 34.9%, so it's slightly favorable to budget. I don't see anything unusual there. Libraries at 49.9, they're unfavorable to budget. And it looks like the line item is the library program expense transfer of $46,900. Is that a timing, and what is that?
Isn't that a one-time?
See, where are you? Sorry, I was waiting.
Library
Library.
program expense transfer.
Oh, yes, yep, that's one
46,000.
time. We give them that money
Okay, so that,
beginning of the year.
that's fine, so
Yeah.
that's okay to be at 100%.
Yep.
One time. Beginning of year. Okay, good. Excellent. Probate court, 26%, they're favorable to budget. Park and Rec is at 60.8%, they're unfavorable to budget. So the first item is summer programs at 93%, and I'm assuming it's summer programs, so that expense is done. We're not going to see that again. Is that a fair assessment?
No, because they start up in June. So the,
Okay, so are we anticipating that one to be over budget?
I think that's what will get presented to you when the Park and Rec person comes. I think they're anticipating that going over a little, because they've usually got about 2 weeks in June they have to cover.
So maybe what we'll do is two things. We're gonna, she's gonna be here next month to talk about the school program before and after school, and we'll also have her talk to her budget. That way she can, rather than us guess, she can give us the details. Make sense?
Just a suggestion for next year's budget, maybe giving her her own revenue line so that it's easy to see what she's bringing in versus her, self-funded programs that she tries to run.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to have that discussion anyway, because if we end up going in any direction with the before and after, there's gonna be a lot more revenue coming in. So, all right, is everybody good with the Park and Rec plan for next month? All right, next page is elementary and supervisory budget at 34%, so that looks like that's just trending the way it's supposed to. Elementary maintenance, 12.9%, they're favorable. Regional District 4 is at 41.9%. Is that, should we be worried there, or is that just a standard charge that's giving us?
We pay them monthly. So, but it should fall within that budget.
Yeah, but, so I'm using 4.5 months or 38%.
Right.
So in this line item, it's probably, my 38% probably doesn't work for this line
Right.
item. So, okay, so, because we probably pay them at the beginning of the month? All right, so we're good there. Interest payments, year-to-date actuals. I don't know, what is that SCG payment?
Southern Gas. Gas. We pay that once a year. They send us a bill.
Oh, so it's not really interest, it's Southern Natural Gas.
They pay us for them.
Annual payment. Okay. Redemption of debt. Tom goes through all that, so I don't think we have to go through this in detail unless there's any line item that Tom doesn't cover. Kirkland. The only one I'm unsure of is DRS boiler. Do we know what that is?
Deep River
Well,
Elementary
I know
School.
it's Deep River Elementary School, but is that a bond or a loan or an allocation of payment? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, audience. All right. Next line on them is general government capital, and that looks like it's in line. And I think the last two items are political subdivision. And I've got a couple of questions on that because we're at 81.9%, so I am not sure. Paula, can you give us any insight in this category?
Subdivision. Okay. Most of these are gonna be a one-shot payment. Yeah. Yep, Tri-Town East Center, that's one time. Estuary, what's the long title on that one? Yeah, most of those are one time. Let's see. Not sure why Connecticut River is over.
That's slightly
That one
over.
we can look
Okay.
at, yeah.
I would say in this category, so most are one-timers.
Yeah, most of them
Okay.
are one time.
So I'll follow up with the end of Connecticut River because it's only $1,000, so we'll rather than hold up the whole group.
Okay.
And then the Fountain Hill Cemetery, I'm assuming that's a one-time payment?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that brings us to the end of the report. So at the end, we have revenue of 53.5%, and our expenses are at 37%. So expenses were favorable in total, and revenue were, as expected, over the 50% mark because we collect more in the first half. So let me ask you, was this the right pace? Does anybody have any recommendations for changing in this process, or is everybody happy with it?
I very much appreciate that you went through every section on here. I feel in the past we might not have gone into it in as much detail. I found it very helpful.
And I like your other budget format, the longer one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a few little formatting changes, like, but with that one would
It would
work.
be so nice,
Yeah,
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 if it could just print out that way, but it's not, yeah. So
No,
I'll jot down who likes what,
Yeah.
and so.
And sending it by email is fine with me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Okay,
don't
so
have to
you'll
print my
print your own?
copies.
Okay.
I'm okay with this, too. When I'm talking about minor formatting, like putting percent signs, dollar signs, get rid of the cents, those kind of things. You know what I mean, as far as formatting?
Right.
Put percentage.
I tried to
there.
do a quick one, just to,
Yeah.
and you know what happened to those, so I was like, forget it, that's it, I'm just leaving it as is.
Yeah, we'll talk on this, but we can use this for next time.
Yep, yep.
All right, so everybody's okay with that process. Again, I'm open to all suggestions and ideas, so please speak up. I'm just here to try and keep things moving. We do have another agenda item, the drop-in one. We can't forget that. All right, that's the Deep River Park and Recs. Bear with me for 1 minute while I get it. Okay. All right, so on the Deep River Park and Recs, the director, Callie Anderson, sent an email requesting seed money for the Deep River Park and Rec before and after school proposal. And in the email, did this email go out to everybody or do?
No.
Okay, so I need to send this out to everybody. So this is more of a discussion today and information sharing, and then we'll go from there. But she sent an email late. I think I actually got it, I think yesterday. I think she might have gotten it. So
You
it was.
forwarded it to Tim?
I did.
Yeah.
She sent it to me.
Yeah.
Because you didn't respond. I think she had your wrong
She had
email.
had my wrong
Yeah,
email,
right.
right.
Yeah, so it took a while to get here, so it didn't really have time to disseminate this to everybody. But I guess she put a survey together to all the parents to see how many parents were interested in pre and post school, and they answered, and there were let me see if I have this summary anywhere. And then she dollarized it, and basically said that when she looked at the cost and how much she would charge for this program, it would be profitable each month by about $7,000. Now, there's a lot of questions that we need to ask, I think, as far as what's the budget, who are the people that would be staffing this. So this is just early information, and it looks like the total full year revenue on this would be $12,640, if I'm reading this correctly. Total projected revenue. That doesn't tie with her monthly projections, so I think there's some understanding exactly what she's putting on this piece of paper. But the general the general thought process is that she believes that she could fund this by charging the parents for the program, and she believes that the costs will be less than the revenue, so there'll be say a profit. This is a town, so there's no profit in the town, but it would fund itself, so there would be no burden to the taxpayer. Maybe that's a better way to say it. And it would be a benefit to the town's family and kids. So that's what she is proposing. We'll invite her here for next month's agenda. So any questions, discussions, or thoughts on this early kind of look?
I think she was hoping to start it in January. Wasn't that your sense? Which she won't be able to do if we don't.
There's a time.
She's looking for funding for 2 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Which will be basically reimbursed.
$5,719 in January and $5,727 in February until registration costs start coming in. Then she says, once registration costs come in, she's wondering how that will work. Will it go to the general fund, or could the registration collected go back to the new program line to pull from for costs? And if that's the case, we would need the funding out front and have it wash itself with it going back to the general fund. She was hoping we could vote on it today.
Okay. And in addition, she said that the staff would be $21 an hour, $21.50 for lead staff member, and $18.50 for assistant staff member. So that's where she's getting her cost. I don't know where would it be in the elementary school?
Probably because she's
It's
going
in the
to use a
elementary
second grade teacher.
So I would urge you to support it, only, the principal reached out to Park and Rec. It's a need at the school. The survey has proven that. A lot of parents are very interested in before and after. They have a teacher interested in being the lead person, so she'll be in the school. She's so it sounds like everything is falling into place. She just sort of needs to get it off the ground, needs a little,
There's a desperate need for parents to have after-school care. Valley Shore YMCA did this pre-COVID, but now they're cost prohibitive. So Chester just adopted this program. It was on the front page of...
Yeah, it was actually in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I just read it. So, and they were in the newspaper article, they said it was very successful using high school kids as the staff.
That's Kaylee's plan as well,
Yeah.
because I spoke to her at length about this.
Because I questioned the $25 an hour, but when it's high school kids, I get it. So that makes sense to me. So if the only expenses is the two high school kids, it'll be in the elementary school, so there's no additional expense to us from that perspective if it's in the building?
That's correct. It's during the custodial, the contract hours, so. I think then, any program materials she might need, snacks, that kind of thing, like those, it's going to be just those kind of expenses.
I think it's a good idea. I think there's a community need for it. My only caveat would be is we have several self-funding programs in Park and Rec now that aren't really self-funding. They may have been set up differently, and looking at them may be something totally different. I'd be in favor of us looking positively on this, having it set up with a certain review process, and if for some reason there's a loss, maybe we cover that from that Park and Rec line.
Okay. And I mean, can we even think about a pilot program where we're having a motion that possibly a one-year funding, and it gives us an opportunity to see how it's working out and revisit it next year. That's just my thought. But I guess if there's no more discussion, does anyone want to entertain any kind of motion here?
I just want to say, it sounds like a good program and stuff. I guess just the way of the last minute, not really knowing details. I didn't get an email on what it was, how it works, or anything like that. So it sounds good. If it benefits kids, we're all for it. Just, I don't like the way doing business like this. Last minute, I need a decision now without getting the details on it.
Okay, fair.
With all due respect, Mike, she did come to the Board of Selectmen, October. And then, of course, we didn't have a Selectmen's meeting in November because of Veterans Day. So everything got pushed off. But she came to the Selectmen, I don't have my minutes, but I believe she came to the first Selectmen meeting in October to present it to us, if I recall.
When we voted to move it forward to Board of Finance.
So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't even have the email that was sent out yesterday or whenever that was
She
sent.
did send it
I just
to
got
Bud,
forwarded
too,
today,
like it
and so
came
I'm
up
just saying,
before
the
this week.
procedure-wise, it's what I'm uncomfortable with. The
Yeah.
cause sounds good.
And I think it would benefit all of us to have Kelly come to the meeting and have her discuss what she's planning to, hoping to do.
My first reaction was the same as yours. It's late to us, and we should get more information. But, you know, so that's one side of me. The other side of me is I'm inclined to be very supportive of it because it sounds like a great program for the town and the families. So,
I'm just wondering, because of the sensitivity with timing, know we're going into the holidays, could we entertain a special meeting to look at this and hear the thoughts so we could meet needs of both sides?
Yeah. I was actually considering, because I wanted to bring up a special meeting for budget process anyway in early December. So maybe we can bundle two items into a special meeting. So let me talk about what I was going to propose to you guys. We're going to go through the budget process very soon. I don't know what process you guys used for the budget process, so I need to get educated. So what I wanted to do is have a special meeting early in December with the team to go over the budgeting process, what you guys did in the past, what you liked, what you didn't like, what recommendations for changes, so that early on we can have a nice process that we go into for the budgeting process, and we could springboard off of that special meeting and have a second agenda item to vote on this proposal, and that'll give us a couple weeks to look at her data, and we can invite her to it. So that's my thoughts, but I don't think I can make a motion.
To call a special meeting?
Yeah, I guess, well, we're going to wrap up this.
If you want to vote now, I'm fine with that.
I don't.
I don't know that we need a motion. You can, as chairman, you can just call a special meeting.
No, I'll call the special
Okay.
meeting, but I think we need to close out this particular topic with either a motion to move forward with somebody making a motion to vote on it, or a motion to table it to a later date.
I move that we table this discussion till after further examination at a special meeting, taking into consideration the timeliness of it.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay. Was that unanimous, ayes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so do we want to talk about the date of the special meeting now?
Sure.
And just a heads up, it's Kaylee. That's her name.
Oh, it's
Not
Kaylee?
Callie. Kaylee.
Yep, it's Kaylee.
Cailey.
You'll have to correct me many times in that area. Okay, so we're going into Thanksgiving, so I wish
Do you mind
everybody.
if I look at this? I haven't
Sure.
seen it either.
Yep, there you go.
Should I forward it to you?
Yes, thank you.
Well, we have the
You have it, right?
the first week in December,
Kaylee?
December 1st, that week. What day is good for everybody, first of all?
What time of day are you talking of?
Well, I'm thinking there's working people here, so probably 6 o'clock, 6:30. That makes, does 6 o'clock work for everybody? Let's start with that.
You, Michael.
6 work?
Just not Wednesday for me.
Not a Wednesday. Okay, so 6 o'clock, and
Monday and Tuesday are great.
how about December 2nd, Tuesday at, meeting
So
about?
I think I forwarded the email from Kaylee to everybody at the table. No.
What?
So I forwarded the email to everybody
I
at the table.
didn't forward it to anybody.
I did. I
because
just did
you
now.
Sent it to me, and I sent
I
it to
truly
Tim.
didn't even read it. I saw, I can't make the meeting, and that was as far as I got, because it was like, in my car.
Gretchen.
We actually have a budget meeting on the 2nd with the schools with Region 4, so that's probably not a good day. How about, and said, stay away from Wednesdays, okay.
Wednesdays?
Yeah.
You could do it in the second.
I could still do it December 2nd, I'll just have back-to-back meetings, but that's 3, 4, 5, I don't know. How long does that Region 4 meeting last? It starts at 2 o'clock. Any idea?
Like an hour?
Okay. All right, December 2nd at 6 o'clock? Okay, very good. I'll arrange it.
So that's a special meeting,
That's a special meeting.
and that's for,
I won't be able to make that.
A special meeting
Yeah, I can't
for,
make it on the 2nd.
you can't make it
I
in?
cannot, but we'll have a majority.
Okay, all right. So that'll be a special meeting for 2 agenda items. One is for budget process, and the second one is for the Park and Rec discussion on pre- and post-school program. Okay.
I'd really like to make that. Is there any way we could do it, say, Thursday at 7? Thursday the 4th at 7, then we're done with the fire station meeting. You're done with the fire station.
Are we going to have a firehouse meeting at 6?
6. Unless it's canceled, but at the moment it's at 6.
How long does that last?
an hour.
Sometimes hour and 20.
I'm sorry, Wednesdays are bad?
The first Wednesday of
The
December.
first Wednesday of
The first
December,
one.
okay.
And we want to stay away from Fridays? Probably.
I'm okay on Friday. The 9th and the 10th are open too.
How's December 8th for everybody on Monday?
It's fine.
Good for me.
I think
December
that's
8th?
your WPCA meeting if you're going to address them. I'm not positive of that, but let me just pull it up and see if it is. When does our WPCA meeting go?
The night before the selectmen's meeting.
Yeah, be perfect. Cross that out. See?
The 9th?
9th is fine with me.
December 9th, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
December 9th.
6 o'clock, yep.
Can you do it in half an hour? 'Cause,
No.
so
Can we do
Mar-
5:30?
Well, what do we have on the 9th?
They have a board of selectmen.
Board of Selectmen's meeting.
Oh, I thought our meetings were oh, is it a special meeting? I thought we were.
No, we meet twice a month.
Twice a
You
month.
and I
Okay.
meet once a month. Regular meeting.
5:30 the 9th?
And I'm looking at Mike.
Yeah, I'll make it work. I'll make it work.
5:30. Yeah, I hate to do this, but it's like we rush trying to squeeze it
It's
all
like
in.
trying to herd cats, you know?
Is the 10th open for everybody?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Make it the 10th at 6 o'clock. That way Mike doesn't have to rush here and we don't have to worry about squeezing in between two meetings.
Is that bad?
Oh, no, well, you can't do Wednesday. Oh, there's the first Wednesdays you can't do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're good with December 10th.
You can't do the 10th at 7. If
Uh.
you want Kaylee here, that's the Park and Rec meeting night. They meet the second Wednesday of the
So
month
we
at
do it
7.
at 6 and put her on first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That way
then she
we
can
don't
just
have
go to her
lunch.
meeting.
Okay, do it
All right.
at 6 before her
So
meeting.
the 10th at 6.
10th
Right.
at 6.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy, I didn't know that would be the hardest part of this.
Yeah, it always is.
Okay. All right, very good. And I
We'll be
think,
holding it here?
You want a motion?
Here?
well, I have other,
Yes.
anybody have any other business?
Just where is it going to be held, Tim? Here, the meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here.
Yes, here. Okay, do we need a motion for a special meeting?
No.
No? Okay. So the next item is other business before we adjourn. Anybody have any other business? All right, thank you, everybody. Do I have a motion
Yeah,
to adjourn?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.